Like you use the term, I love that term used almost, I think it was learned helplessness. Like the fact that many people, me included, don't think you can fix things, don't even see as at something that you can fix. There's a leak under the sink and you go, who do I call to fix it? Or there's something wrong with the heating. Who do I call to fix it? As opposed to, okay, YouTube is the greatest encyclopedia of how to the human society has ever had. Okay, type it in, have a look, get an L plumber, get an L ratchet and have a go with it. And when you fix it again, there's such satisfaction. And I wonder if you could talk about this learned helplessness that you described, that I think is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the learned helplessness idea is really, it's exactly what you're talking about. It's that we've kind of trained ourselves to not believe that something is for us or for us to do. It's not a thing that we're meant to do. So, and again, I think it comes back to this specialization thing where we're kind of trained in from a very young age to choose the thing that we're going to be amazing at, that we're going to focus on and put all our energy and all our studies and all our finances and everything towards this one thing. And we become this perfect cog in the wheel, this perfect part of the system that doesn't know how to do any other parts in the system. And in a really big sense, that kind of makes sense. The big machine is going to keep working if we do that. But in our day-to-day lives, there's a much smaller machine that needs to keep working there. You know, there's your family unit, there's your home, there's the space you live, there's the food you eat every day that has all these moving parts for us. And the idea that you'd be able to outsource all those moving parts of your daily life to someone else, that's a total luxury. For most people, and we're seeing it right now with the housing crisis, most people can't afford to outsource building their house. It's just not possible. So the solution is either rent for the rest of my life or not buy a house or move in with my parents or build my own house, right?
Except to build your own house is certainly in the greater Dublin area, in the Leinster area, that means you need to get land, which unless your parents have land or someone gives you a plot of land, it's very difficult to do that. So it's typically going to more rural areas. And
yeah, I mean, so many people are leaving the city to go and find houses that they can afford or land that they can afford, you know, and that's going to happen. There's going to be a repercussion of it. I don't know how we can change that. And I also don't know if that's a problem. I don't know if that's a bad thing. Maybe that's a great thing. Maybe getting more people into smaller communities in the countryside is going to have a really positive effect on our community building, on our mental health, on our,
and when they're more
in
connected
touch with
to nature. Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so the learned helplessness thing, it's really about our belief in ourselves to be able to do something. It's not actually about doing it. I guess another way of describing it is self-efficacy, how much we believe we can do, right? And so if you think about someone, to understand self-efficacy, like if you think about someone who's trying to quit smoking, if they don't believe that they're ever going to be able to quit smoking, it's very, very unlikely they're ever going to stop smoking. If they believe it's possible that they could quit smoking because they've had a friend do it, or they've had a family member do it, or they watched on a TV show that someone did it, every one of these influences helps them with their own self-belief that someone else, maybe like me, that they have some empathy with, did this thing as well, and I could do it too. And the more you believe you would be able to do something, obviously, the easier it's going to be for you to do it. That comes with everything that we do, whether it's learning a language, learning how to cook, learning how to build your own home. You see that the minute you know someone who has built their own home, you automatically question, could I do that? Like, if they did it, can I do it? If they found a way to build a house for 80,000 euros instead of 400,000 euros, could I find a way to do that and not get a mortgage for 30 years? And it's just that question that starts this process of like, yeah, I could do it. If they can do it, then it's possible. There's a world that exists that I could do this thing too. And you know, that's the power of just starting that process. And it's really the first step. And I think that's almost what we need to focus on, much more than what materials do we build with or how do you put two bits of wood together. Most people are at this point where they need to believe that it's possible, that they could learn how to build their own house and create their own
And
shelter.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there when you talked about specialization, because it's a bit like at a macro level, we're at the Henry Ford kind of automated kind of, line. Each of us has we're good at one thing and we get paid for this, and we outsource, as you said, we outsource a lot of the rest of our life. But when I look at my own life, 43 now, I realize when I learn new skills, I feel really good. Like, I feel good. I feel confident. I feel happy in myself. Yes! Like, I learned to hammer a nail through something, or whatever it might be. Simple. I can fix the boiler. When the boiler breaks, I can fix the boiler. I can. Like, there's one little trick that I can do. And every time I break, hang on, love, I'll fix the boiler for you. And I go out there and I'm delighted. Like, literally, I just add the pressure to, like, put a bit more water in the system.
I know that one too.
You know that one too. And, like, I'm delighted with myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm a great lad. Just fix the boiler, girls. Just fix the boiler. Woo-hoo, what a man. And, like, but it's those, if you can have that at scale, like, as in, like, learning, like, building more than a shelf, building a wall and building a house, because building, essentially, in my experience, is a repetitive skill done lots of times that you like once you learn
with a plan behind it.
you need someone to go under, but a lot of it is the same thing over and over again. And it's hard work. Like, it's hard work.
But that's why it's rewarding.
But the technical aspect, if someone can show you, isn't that difficult.